trying to get the house kind of settled. My mom-in-law is coming to stay for tomorrow, so it's my husband's birthday. And news from the outdoor show. I am going to be the proud owner of a tailor-made Taylor and Company 45 long coat. It's called the Gunfighter, and it is awesome. So I'll probably come around my birthday, which is in June. I can't wait. Anyway, want to talk a little bit about the Pablo thing. There are reasons why I think that he's been kind of shoved aside for a long time. And I've got to get this tweet to, hey Jonathan, to Doomcock and Tom and Andre, and I think Cameron has seen it. But it is it is a tweet that he tweeted to one of my subs. Shit. Sorry, guys. And basically the sub said, I've talked about this before on the channel, but I think it's pertinent. It looks, well, since Kathy's leaving soon, are you leaving with her? Maybe you should leave before her. That would be best. I think that would be for the best. Pablo replied, after 20 years, or he asked what your plans are, maybe you should leave. Hey, Senator Dave, maybe you should leave before her. I think that would be best. Pablo said, after 20 years, I don't have any plans, and I don't know what hers are. So, and then he figured out what we were doing. Okay, so he stopped talking to the guy. This is why you have to be real stealthy. But I said a lot, and I sent it to Doomcock, and I sent it to other people, and they forgot about it. But these are things that that you need to pay attention to. I didn't think he'd reply. Or if he did, he was going to say something snarky. I didn't think we were going to get that reply at all. It was like all of a sudden he had like a dose of, or a shot of honesty or something, or just like integrity. And so anyway, there's that. And that was, all right, this last thing happened. We have dispensable cog, and then literally on the 23rd, he said, he put dispensable cog in his bio, and then told somebody he was taking a break from writing. Right. Here's the deal. I know he's trolled people before, but this thing's going on 2 weeks. All right. I counted the days. All right. And he has not changed it back. He has not addressed it. He has not addressed anything. And he has not said a word to anybody. Now, if Andre and Tom and everybody are listening, he has said he mutes people, okay? And he outright blocked one of my guys, okay? So he's not going to answer that. But when asked him that, what are your plans? And he said what he said, I was shocked. Because he would either, I thought he'd go off, he'd say something shitty, he'd get an attitude, or go silent. I did not expect that. Hey, Dosbury. So, but I think this has been going on for a long time. Because that happened. He said that, I think, before Christmas. Okay, I'd have to go look, but I would say, God, how long? I would say August or September. Okay, so I think what happened was he probably did violate his contract and NDA, and Disney finally said, you're out of here. But I think I don't think look, when you read his tweets, this is not a guy who has a job right now. he doesn't, he goes on there and tweets, but he talks about, and the tone is weird. You know, the tone is not, he's not himself. No, I'm sure if we could see his private tweets, and trust me, somebody will get sick of his shit and post a bunch of crap there too, off of that one too. I mean, you know, I tell everybody, don't trust anybody on Twitter. If you have a private account, it's not private. It's not, okay? If they want to see what you're saying, they're going to find out. So, you know, so I have a scenario in mind. First off, I think it's, hey Jay, I don't think Kathy had anything to do with this. If someone could find her, I'll put an APB out on her. She's a missing woman as of this point. Okay, she is. She is gone. She's not in London. She's just, hiding out in their house in Malibu? Frank is still there. They're both supposed to be working on Indy 5. Are they just doing it via dailies? I don't know. But, and that set, there aren't any other pictures. I mean, no pictures coming off that set. But, like I said yesterday, the word on the street is that they're not going to finish filming until the end of February now. So I think, to me, it looks like they are basically refilming everything. I think the whole script has been rewritten, right? And I'm going to say this, and I know people will argue, people who think she and Spielberg are bestest friends, even if he walked away from directing. Why? I mean, this goes right over people's heads, and I have people I'm addressing right now. Where was George at the Rise of Skywalker premiere? Nowhere. And then Spielberg leaves. She's their best friends. Please give me a break. Okay, you live in the past. You've got 2018 and 2019 hanging around your neck like an albatross. It's pulling you down, and it's pulling everybody else down. Stop it. All right, just freaking stop it. Anyway, so I don't think it was her. I think it was Disney. Well, when Chapek put that email out, first off, if Pablo got the email, he didn't understand it. Okay, and you got to understand, he's an idiot. Okay, he really is an idiot. Okay, I found his biography on Wikipedia. This is it. Born in Santiago, Chile, is a immigrant to Canada, and then he immigrated to the United States. Okay, his parents, I believe, were left-leaning activists that left because at the time, what's his name was running around. Pinochet, Augusto Pinochet, was running around making leftists disappear. Okay, so he's a red diaper baby. Hi, IMCK. Hi, everybody in chat too. Oh, and to my new subs, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate greatly the shout outs from Doomy, of course, and this afternoon from Tom and Andre and Midnight's Edge. So, how Hidalgo got hooked up with Lucasfilm is that he was working for a company that specialized in setting up web pages, and he helped set up and maintain StarWars.com. Hi, Carlos. He was an extra and played, the opera scene. He was one of the aliens, I think, sitting with the Emperor. He was an extra in that scene, and they left. He In 2012, he approached Kathleen Kennedy and asked for an actual job because he was consulting. He wrote a couple comic books and whatever. So there you go. Okay. He got the job because of Kathy. All right. And there lies the problem. And now we know. See, we hooked we literally followed the thread. Yeah, and that's exactly the problem, Carlos. And he's been a raving lunatic ever since. Okay, so that's the bio. All right, he married, Kristen. I don't know when, but they've been married for a while now. She's from, I think, somewhere in Massachusetts, which, she's a big lip. All right. So here's the deal. I don't think Kathy had anything to do with, yeah, he's married and she's as bad as he is. I mean, and the funny thing about it, she absolutely loves this priest named Father James Martin, who literally is the antithesis of a good priest. He encourages grave sin. He's a left-wing lunatic liberal nutbag, and most of, my former pastor in Virginia did not. You did, Troy. Did not care for him. All right. The guy is basically he's an apostate. He really is. And it's just, so she's a whack job. She really is a whack job. So anyway, do I think that he's gone? Well, I don't know, Dennis. I am literally, see, that's the thing. I think, here's the deal. If right now Jon Favreau is the big cheese, and he can hire and fire anybody at Lucasfilm he wants. All right. I would think that he's probably eventually going to get rid of the entire story group. They don't need him. Dave Filoni and, handpicked people from him and John are very capable of doing well. Okay. They do need publishing. They do need to put books out, but and comics and all that shit. But the story group did not hold its end of the bargain up. They were supposed to keep continuity, and they didn't. There is no continuity. Their new canon is more convoluted than anything you could think of in the EU, and the EU is convoluted. Okay, so I don't think those guys are going to stay around. I really think the only one who's going to stay is probably Leland Chee, but he's a really, really nice guy, and he has never done anything to hurt the fans. And I want to tell you something. You guys have heard me say this before, and Jay is in the chat. He knows Pablo has been merciless, going hammer and tongs. Hey, Deborah, after the fans for 10 years. 10 years. Okay, so, you keep the good ones, you get rid of the bad ones. And I think he's one of the bad ones. I'd like to see Matt Martin go. I'd like to see Ray Roberts go. There are, I would say, and what's really weird is that, again, if you go on Twitter and you see him talking to people, it's weird. He's weird now. He's weirder than usual. Okay, the tone just doesn't set right. I think you have to understand subtext to see it because I'm like, there's something going on with him. There really is. He seems out of place. He almost seems like he's mourning. Okay, I mean, from what I've heard, Star Wars is his life. I wish he would have understood if he wanted to keep the job to, be grateful to the fans. All right, because we're the ones that keep people in jobs. All right. So I'm not going to gloat on this. Yeah, I did. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute, Mama Bear, because I don't think it's right to gloat. If we get official word, and we will, eventually it'll come out. In fact, I feel like maybe emailing Matt Bellany and just asking him, can you look up, can you go and find this for us? This is a bit of information. Okay. And really, it is a small victory, but it's also a big one. And the reason simply is this. It will help heal wounds. And it will help fans to move on. It makes Disney and Lucasfilm look better to get rid of him. Because he is, the guy was a story group team member, writer. He led the story group. And he made, he should not be the face of Lucasfilm, but he made himself that way. He did it to himself, okay? He did that himself. All right, if he's gone, this is all his doing. He could have looked at Leland Chee and said, I'm gonna do it that way. But no, and, I'm gonna tell you something, the guy's a techie. He's probably very good at sneaking around the internet. Hey, Matt, hey, Mr. HR. Yeah, well, I think, but also they have to go public. Okay? Then it'll keep people from saying, well, I don't really think he's gone. He's just been put in a timeout. The 2 weeks is over today. It's over. All right? And I think if he'd been put in a timeout, he left all that stuff on there. Okay? He's not there anymore. I think he's been, I don't know. I really don't. I think if you've ever seen the movie Ready Player One, there's a character in there who kind of reminds me of him. Yeah, I think you're right, Troy. I think that we're going to see a lot because all the rest of those people in the story group don't have an internet presence. So their stories will come out in the news somewhere. But I really would like to get somebody like Matt Bellany looking and snooping. And I know the guy goes on YouTube to see what we're talking about. They all do. Hell, Pablo could be watching right now. Dude, if they kicked you off the squad, you did that yourself. You're the Megan Rapinoe of Lucasfilm now. Aren't you proud? You should pat yourself on the back. No, I am not going to cheer. What a fun place to work. I'm going to treat everybody like shit who doesn't agree with me. I'm going to put a racist organization like Black Lives Matters in my bio. And they are racist. I don't care what anybody says. All lives matter. All right? Don't sit there and tell me that specific phrase isn't racist. All right? Well, yeah, and you're right, Troy. That's true. The guy walked himself out. Yeah, Lico is right. The guy talked himself out of a great job if he's gone. And I have to believe, I mean, we got WW Pro looking still, but I believe that he's gone. I really, really do. Now, about the rumors. I don't know what to think. It sounds like, I mean, I think they had the movie script and tried to turn it into an 8-episode show, and it was not working. And what they did is they took, you know, shows that they already did to The Mandalorian and added them into the Book of Boba Fett. I believe that. Do I believe that they're still working right now? Doomcock did say take this with a grain of salt. And there's a lot of chaff that you gotta sift through to get to the wheat. Okay. You know, maybe, I would say maybe a little of it is true. But I don't believe all of it is. Okay. I don't even know. I mean, it just, Deborah, I don't even know because I'm like, now, the one thing I thought was interesting is that basically one rumor said Baby Yoda does choose the lightsaber. Okay. Grogu does choose the lightsaber. I think Luke lets him have both. That's what I think is going to happen. Who is to blame for this debacle is probably, they didn't have time to write a script, a decent script for the show. Yeah, exactly. Do I think Kathy, I don't think Kathy was involved with it. I mean, I don't think she had anything to do with it. She might have been sending her spies out there, but it's not woke. What you saw in those first four episodes is not woke. All right, it's just off. Okay, and they're not bad. I don't care what anyone says. They're not bad. Okay, the editing could be better. The writing wasn't writing for a TV show. Okay, so you know, but I don't think, just like I don't think she was the one that put Pablo in a timeout. She would never do that to him. I don't know, Chris. I'm just like, you know, first off, the show wasn't as bad as some of the idiots out there say it was. You know, I mean, and there are a lot of fan channels that, not Boba Fett. It's like, your Boba Fett had 5 lines, literally snuck up on Han Solo and then waited to have him handed over in carbonite by Vader because he never confronted Han mano a mano. You know, everybody built Boba Fett up in their heads like he's some badass. I'm sorry, when you look back, hindsight is 20/20. He's not. So when I hear people say he's such a badass, where was he ever a badass? Luke kicks his ass, and then Han inadvertently hits him in the jetpack with the gaffy stick, and he goes flying into the Sarlacc. Wow, Clint Eastwood. You know, it's like, are you kidding me? You know, so really, I just, they don't get it. They don't. The people are blind. I mean, there it was in front of you. He's such a badass. Yeah, you know, it's like whatever. You know, so, but I don't know. I'm kind of, you know, I do believe, yeah, only in the comics, and the comics really aren't canon. They're not. Okay. I do believe Doomcock when he said that they've been watching our reactions. Yes, Jango was the badass. And he tried to kill a Jedi, and the Jedi killed him. All right, and that, you know, I mean, Boba really was just a learner throughout the Clone Wars. Excuse me, but The thing is, if they are watching our reactions, it's not honest. It's not honest, Lico. It's not. And they know it's not. And you got, somebody today saying, well, all it leads is to the sequel trilogy. No, it doesn't. Where do you get that? I think there are people that really need to talk to a doctor. A psychiatrist. Because they don't have any positive things to say. And they don't really, I'm like, where on earth are you finding that? Here's the deal. How can you be a movie buff and not be a cinephile to the point where you can see foreshadowing and little things that director's telling you where the story is going? All right. When I watched this last episode and I looked at that island, I thought for sure it was Yavin 4. It might not be. But it's not the place where Luke's Jedi Academy was. Okay? It looks like it looks, that planet. Those houses, by the way, were in the artwork, concept artwork, George gave Disney when he sold the film. Okay? So I'm like, they can't lead it to a dead end. All right? And this is, God. But here's the deal. They reinforce each other. Hey, Alfred. Well, I'm not going to say it's a grift, but it's also not really, there's not a lot of integrity. Okay? You can't, here's the deal. I can't convince them. Valiant Renegade can't convince these people. Mike, the Mexican Iron Man, can't convince these people. Cameron, who's the only one that's actually in the business, can't convince these people that if it all points to the sequel trilogy, it's dead anyway. Okay? Why would they even be doing this if it did? And they're not going to go half-assed to get rid of it. They're going to get rid of it. In fact, there was a theory last night, and I missed it because I was asleep, that Ahsoka, where's her ship? Is she using the mirrors, the veil of the Force, to go back and forth, and she's walking through the veil of the Force? Think about it. She could be fixing things we don't know. Okay? All right? We don't know. That's just something somebody came up with, and I don't know if it's true. I don't know if Dave and John are going to will go that way. But it's also not really a fan. It kind of is and it kind of isn't. It's interesting. Okay, it's interesting. But no, I'm not. Yeah, Corione, and it's very interesting, and I think you could work with it. I really do. And I could see her actually trying to use it to find Ezra. Okay? So, I'm not, I honestly, I think, I think you're right, Troy, and I don't disagree, but there are possibilities. Okay? And it's very interesting. But no, so the rumor, we'll have to see, 2 a.m, Wednesday, and we've got it's 5:32. We've got about 36 hours Well, Mama Bear, I know that. Um, but they're going to have to let it go. Okay, again, I've said this before, and if I'm ever out with some of these people drinking, I'm gonna say, hey, you guys live in the past, and you gotta stop it. You gotta stop it. Because it's not that way anymore. The world's way different. If you look at the history of the last 3 years, in what way does it resemble 2018 or 2019? Okay, come on, open your eyes. All right, it is absolutely a different world, and Hollywood has changed a lot too. Okay, so do I think Pablo's out? I think it's about an 85% chance he's out. Maybe they're doing reshoots. We don't know. We don't know. I see that's I'm like, oh, hi Olaf. How are you doing? We just don't know. We don't I mean, we'll have to see. Um, we got about 36 hours yet to go. All right. And we're gonna see where it leads us. We're gonna see where it goes. It was an interesting I got home and was sorting through a box of stuff I want to get rid of and listening to I had to replay Andre and the guys. Hey Ben, and it's like guys, I think there's something there's again, and then I'm gonna let you guys go, but I'm gonna repeat what I said. Get this out there. Um, Here's the deal. I think they're going to change it through the Veil of the Force, and the Veil of the Force isn't really time travel. Here's the deal. Pablo's I heard him, and it's like you need to slow your roll, dude. You really do. Pablo is so weird right now on the Twitters. It's really he's cowed. He's mourning. He's sad. He's flinching even. Okay, and I think he's absolutely stupid. I they're not going to kill off Boba Fett. They're not. This is he's going to have muzzled and probably without a job. Okay. Oh, I don't think so, Olaf. I'm pretty sure that I agree that he's going to choose a lightsaber, even though now I don't think it matters. Again, I'm one of the financial people, and I'm with Mr. Chapek and everybody, and we're looking at the numbers for the sequel trilogy for merchandise, ticket sales. No one wants it. All right, no one wants it. So I think he's under NDA, but it should come out in the public somewhere in an official source. So I'm gonna try to figure out how to get a hold of Matt Bellany and just say, hey, you could check this out. So anyway, well, I don't really think it's much of a. I don't. I think it's more of a test than anything else. So, all right, I gotta go because I gotta make dinner. All right. So, you guys have a good day. And I got a real slick boom boom coming. It's an old it's a replica of an old school gunfighter's pistol. It really is cool. 45 long Colt. Somewhere Alec Baldwin's crying. Anyway, can't wait to take it out and shoot it. I shoot revolvers pretty well too, so we'll see how this goes. Anyway, you guys have a good evening, and I'll see you around the galaxy. And go and check if you're on Twitter, Pablo's Twitter, and ask him. See, people are wondering if you're still at Lucasfilm. Do it, and then get back to me. See you around the galaxy.